Hi everybody, welcome to the special Sunday Family Arts. My name's Austin Kwidzinski, and today is Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Today we're going to be doing a fun craft that's Mother's Day themed, and we're going to be making these paper tulips. And now these are not hard to make. They just require a few different folds and cuts here and there, but it's actually really impressive, the quality of them. You can take them make a bunch and put them in a bouquet like I did, or even leave your own messages and stuff. So it's totally up to you. We're going to need a few things to get started with this though. So we're going to need some construction paper. As you can see, I have multiple different colors. So the colors that you choose is totally up to you guys, whatever you feel. You could even pick your mom's favorite color if that works. It's totally up to you. I'm going to use a pencil for writing messages, or even just to use for when it comes to the stems. We're going to use some scissors and then some glue. But other than that, guys, that's really it. So let's get started on this. Let me show you what we're going to need. So I think I'm going to start off with a nice yellow color for the top. So I have a full sheet of yellow construction paper. So I'm going to show you the folds step by step so you guys can follow along. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to make a square, so we don't need all this extra stuff. So I'm going to fold on the edge here, make sure it's nice and lined up, and then I'm going to push down hard like so, making sure this is some thicker construction paper, so folding it maybe a little bit more challenging than it normally is, but that's okay. We make do with what we have, and then we're just going to cut along until we get a square shape like so. So now that we have that square, we can start to get rid of the excess paper. And then I'm going to fold across again, just so I have some reference lines to work with. So I'm making sure I'm on the edges like this. All right, so now it's a little bit hard to see, but you can see those two folds in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold across, almost like an envelope fold. Like that. And now when I have something like this, I'm going to make sure I fold it one more time. So I'm going to come around, because what we want is we want a nice square shape like so. All right, so we have something like that as a full square shape. What we need is we're just going to cut this out like so. So I'm just going to cut along the middle to the best of my ability, like so. And then one more time we can cut down the middle, like so. And then we're going to have the square shapes, which are going to be really useful because they're going to make up the head of the tulip. So we can move this aside for now. Don't quite need that. So that's that one fold there. And then I'm going to fold across just so I have my reference lines there to help me. So you should have something like this, and what it is the 4 lines, as you can see there. And then what we're going to do for each one of these sides here of the square, we're actually going to cut in the middle. And in order for this to work, we don't want to cut all the way down. We want to cut somewhere near the middle here. So I'm going to estimate, I'm going to eyeball it, cut in the middle. I'm going to stop, leave a little bit of room, and I'm going to do that for each of the 4 sides of this square. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. So now what we're going to need is our glue stick, and we're going to actually glue the sides. I'm going to show you how this works. Just to start off with, I'm going to glue, as you can see this little lip here, I'm going to glue this side on each of them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, just to have a little bit of a base. 1, 2, 3, 4, like so. And then what we're going to do, starting with this one, we're actually going to take this and we're going to fold it in on itself like so, right? And so that's why that we glued that little section, but we can also glue this part to make sure that it's going to stay where it needs to stay. So we fold that over and we have that shaping up like this. And we're going to do the same thing for all 4 sides. So I'm going to glue this just to make sure it's got some extra hold. And as you can see, now it's starting to form that shape of a tulip. And all the sides are pointing upwards, right? That's very important. So I might go back and fix that one just because, again, this is heavier construction paper than I have, so folding can sometimes be a little difficult, but with enough glue, we should get it to work. We'll glue this side one more time, like so. All right. So now that we got something, we're just gonna go around. Again, we gotta make sure we really lay on that glue so it doesn't go anywhere. Push down hard. Let's try this side one more time. But once everything is set in place, you should get something that looks like this, and it's like a little bulb. And how I mentioned before, the reason why we didn't cut all the way in the square is because we need this base, this almost square shape in the bottom here. If we cut all the way, everything would fold in on itself, and it wouldn't have this form factor to it. So it's very important that we do that. So next we're going to move on to the stem. Actually, I'm going to show you guys how to do this. So I'm going to start with green construction paper because this is a really pretty green. And what we're going to do, you could do this differently if you feel, but I felt that this was the most effective way to get that shape. So I'm going to use a pencil as a base, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll over top of the pencil. And what this is going to do, it's going to form the paper around the pencil and kind of get that nice curve that we want. You see the paper starting to turn around like that? And the pencil is not long enough, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it over to this side and get this side as well. I'm going to start to curve as tight as I can. We want to make sure that this is super tight. And again, I'm going to move this one over as well. And so what this is, it's forming the paper into the shape that I plan to use coming up here pretty quickly. So I'm just going to keep rolling until I get something that I like. I like where the shape is going. And as you can see, I'm not doing anything, but it's already forming that shape for me. So I think this is the most effective way. If there's a better way of doing it, I'm curious to know. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take this glue and down the middle here, we could even fold this in one more time, like so. We're going to put some glue all the way along here. And then we're going to cut just outside the glue here. And we're going to try to get it as straight as possible. It doesn't need to be super straight or anything, but we'll try our best. So now that we have our base shape, what we're going to do is we're going to put the pencil in the middle and then fold as tight as we can and try to really curve that in like so. Curve, and eventually, since we cut that out, we have that glue. It's a nice base, as you can see, like that, right? And you can go and fix this in later if you want, but it's a nice starting point. Here, we can even put some glue along this side. Like so. Make sure that's nice and sticky. There we go. So we have a nice little stem, and then we can just knock the pencil out. So that's going to work. Again, this is thicker construction paper, so we want to make sure that we're really gluing these parts down. You could also use tape if you wanted to too, but I think aesthetically glue looks a bit better. I think it's not as glaring. Okay. So now that we got that, what we need to do is we actually need to do the tops. So we're going to cut almost like in 4 ways. We're going to cut for each side of this cylinder. So 1, hopefully you guys can see this, 2, 3 at the top, and then on this side 4. And then we just made a little slot, and then what we're going to do is we're going to turn this down like this. Hopefully you guys can see this. Like so, and this is going to be the base of our tulip. So it's just going to go like that, and then we'll have a nice tulip attached. So I'm going to do the bottom of here. the middle here. And then we'll do the base as well. We'll give this an extra one over. Make sure that glue is nice and sticky. All right. And without further ado, we're just going to stick this to the base like so. And really push down on that, make sure that's going to hold. Like that. Also make sure it's centered too. Let's see. Just like that. And we have a tulip, just like that. So now that we have one, what we need to do is also make the little leaves part like this. So I'll show you how to do that. What we're gonna do is we have this excess paper, right? So I'm just gonna fold it in half, like so, and then I might fold it in half one more time. Like so. And again, same thing for this one. Again, I'll just fold it in half so it's in fours like that. And we can cut this out. All right, so what we need to do here is I'm going to use this side, the side that has the bend in it, and I'm going to cut out a long shape that's going to resemble almost like a leaf of a tulip. So I'm going to cut really large like so. Like that, and this should be a good size shape. And again, we're going to have the same on both ends because we used the folded part. And to attach this, what we're going to do is glue this part down, right? This bottom portion of this flower. And then with our tulip as well, we can glue this side down. And what that's going to look like is that's going to be like this, and we're going to kind of fold it in on itself like so. Not sure. Get something like that. You can flatten that a little bit just so that sticks. And then we get something like this, which is a really nice tulip shape, right? And these are fantastic because of the bulb on top, there's a little bit of an opening. So an extra little thing that we can do is we can make a Mother's Day sign. So I'm gonna get my piece of paper here. I'm gonna cut out like a little note shape, I think. Just something like this. And you can put it in a little envelope if you would like. And then what we can do is just write a little note. Oh, this came off a little bit. That's okay. We'll get some extra glue for it. And then we'll just write Happy Mother's Day or any personal message that you want. I think we'll do it in this pen first. So I'll make a little border like this. Hopefully you guys can see that. And then we can write a personal message. So Happy Mother's and then Day. And then you can sign it or whatnot. And then what we can do, you know, we can fold it in on itself if we need to, and we can even put it in the top here. And when you hand it over to it, there'll be like a little message inside to open up. So you can also do it that way too. And then if you double this up, so if you do a bunch of them, you can put them together like this, right? This is just the same thing. And then we had the top of the tulips here. and then just a little Happy Mother's Day sign you can throw on top. So there's multiple ways to do this. It's totally up to you guys. Hopefully that was informative, as well as this is a fun little thing to put together, and the results are actually really fantastic too. Like, these things look super impressive, and they're a great gift for any mother out there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. My name is Austin Kwidzinski, and this has been another Sunday Family Arts. And Happy Mother's Day. Enjoy your guys' day, and take care, guys.